Um, my name is Austin. I'm in 7th period, and my uh, key concepts were key concept 2.3, and that was the globalization of trade and commerce. And a big part of that time period was trade routes, like the Silk Road and the Saharan trade routes in Asia and Africa. There were other ones, like smaller ones, like in the Mediterranean Sea, and the Black Sea, and that kind of thing, but they weren't as big as the main ones. And at the time in North America, there weren't any. Like there was still trade going on, but they didn't have any major developed trade routes like they did in Asia and Africa in that area because they didn't have animals big enough to carry that kind of thing that they could domesticate. And the wheel hadn't been invented yet, so they didn't have like carts like they did over in Asia. So they made their way of trade just by carrying it or dragging it, like that kind of stuff. It's not as easy. It's kind of hard to do. Um, but in Asia and Africa, they were um, they were connected by trade routes like the Silk Road, and that was connecting East to West Asia, South Asia to East and West Asia, and Central Asia to the rest of Asia. With Central Asia being in the center because it's Central Asia. It's like it's like the main supplier, and they were trading horses, fur, and spice from East Asia to West Asia, and they were trading cotton, spice, and rice to South Asia or from South Asia to East and West Asia. And then for Central Asia to everywhere else, they were trading camels, almonds, and dates, which is a kind of fruit that they grew around there. Um, Something else that they were trading that you can really buy was they were sending Buddhism to different areas of Asia by like missionaries were going on the trade routes and walking with them, just kind of like spreading their ideals. And also disease, like the Black Plague, that got spread by trade routes, just like by poor hygiene, and there were rats getting into stuff, so it just kind of spread the disease even faster. The Indian Ocean was the largest trade route until the 1400s that was based in water. Um, they were depending on monsoon winds to carry their ships because they were still powered by sails instead of like motors, that kind of thing. And they were using something called the Lantine sail, which is like a technological development at that time, which is pretty nice, probably. And the last one is the Saharan trade route in Africa, which was the Saharan Desert is in the northern part of Africa, and it was connecting the African empires. And they were trading gold and ivory, which are two precious metals, and they were also trading slaves to different parts of Africa. So that was a big thing for them. And that's about it. It was important because it was able to connect different parts of the world at such an early time, and we were able to come in contact with each other, even though it was like kind of a primitive time in a way. I've had to record this video 4 times, so I'm hoping